You ain't seen the news, you ain't seen my shoes, you ain't see the views. Look, I get the views.
Yo, this is your boy Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse. And today I am with your boy Ultimate Warrior Cnft. What is up, man?
You know, man, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the interview. I appreciate you reaching out. This is my first official interview on any YouTube platform across the board. So I'm excited about this. And JL, thank you, man. You've been great covering us so far. We really appreciate you, brother.
Definitely. Anytime, man. I gotta see. This is how I start off my interviews. I gotta start off with a little story. You know what I mean? Well, I kind of told you before we got on air. Let me turn your mic up real quick. But yeah, I kind of told you before we got on air that I was, a big fan of your YouTube channel. I was watching all your YouTube content, and it was one video in specific that stood out to me, and it actually wasn't too long ago. But it was a video that you created where you were talking about rug pulls in the community. And you were kind of apologizing to your subscribers about a recent rug pull that happened. And I think it was a project that you endorsed. It was a project that you covered on your channel, and the sincerity in your apology and just you being a genuine person. I felt that, I felt every word that you said, and I felt your pain. You know what I mean? I felt your pain, and I felt how genuine you were. And I was like, man, this is a great guy. This is really a great guy. He's really trying to do the right thing for the community. He's really trying to look out for all his subscribers and everybody who follows him. He actually cares about them. You see what I'm saying? And when I seen that, I was like, this guy's amazing, right? And then you started talking about the fact that you had a project. And so I was all ears from then. I'm like, oh, well, he's going to put this same tender love and care into his project. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to just speak about, first of all, the space that you hold in the community and your pride and your reputation. Speak a little bit about that and why you have such a strong stance on it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about that. Actually, thank you for bringing that up because, so a little bit of a backstory about me. I used to be a crypto YouTuber, Synalytics Crypto. I've been in crypto since like 2016, and I had a channel and I was talking about it. And, I quickly realized what it takes to kind of climb the ranks and get to the top. You got to be super clickbaity. You got to pretty much sell out to get that kind of stuff. I just really wasn't willing to do that. So, I put a lot of time, a lot of effort into all that stuff. And, I think I got to like 3K subs, and I just kind of stopped doing it. I lost interest. It just wasn't working out. And so, I had that YouTube channel in the background. I resurrected that channel for basically CNFTs. I jumped into the space, head first. I got into Boss Cats. That was the first one that I got into as a project. And I got really excited because I'd done some of the stuff for Ethereum. I've done some Ethereum NFTs, and it was very expensive. There was it was hard to even sell the stuff you have. So, long story short, I have a passion for crypto and I have a passion for NFTs, but I jumped in the CNFT space and I immediately realized this is where it's at. I'm also a huge fan of Cardano. I love ADA. I keep saying to everybody, this is the year that Cardano is going to really take over and do some big things. So the space we're in is very special. It's very unique, and we're still in it very early. It's still a baby. There's like all of this room to grow, right? And so, I'm a passionate man no matter what I do, really. At the end of the day, if I'm into something, I'm into it 100%. I just won't take anything less than 100%. So, yeah, I'm very passionate about it. And I do feel, as YouTube content creators, we have to provide, good value. We have to be honest. If we come out there and, like, when I made a mistake, I was like, man, I had to come out there and make that apology video because, people got hurt by that. And that bothers me. 50 ADA might not be a lot to somebody, but to somebody else, that might be a lot. And so, I recognized that was an issue. And I said, hey, I want to apologize for my part in this. I obviously didn't do the research that I probably should have done, at least to a higher level. And that was still when I was kind of maybe halfway into this journey. I've learned a lot from that situation. And, I still have the same passion that I want to bring. Again, what I do on my YouTube channel matters to me and it matters to my subs, because you know how it is, JL. Without our subs, we don't have a channel. We don't have anything. Without the community in a project, you don't have a project. So you have to respect that first, and then you kind of just, you go from there. And I like to deliver the fact that I am passionate. People say, like, you know, the other day I was talking to friends, oh man, you're all sunshine and rainbows. I said, yeah, because I'm positive about the space. I'm positive about the developments, and I see the massive opportunity to come. So, you know, I was a little bit hesitant to make that apology video, but it needed to happen. And I'm glad, because, well, one thing that brought me to you and a lot of other people who saw that, you know, it was the same kind of thing for them to say, wow, you know, thank you for coming out and manning up on that. And I said, yeah, you know, I need to do a better job. And since then, as a matter of fact, I have. You won't even find me reviewing projects anymore unless they're doxed. I've openly spoken about the fact that we need to raise the bar entirely in this space. And the only way to do that is for the content creators themselves to have a better moral standard for which we produce our content. And, you know, so it's changed the game for me, and I'm very happy about that. And yes, of course, you know, I take that same enthusiasm into the creation of my project, because not only am I an investor and a YouTube content creator, but now I have the project, the Space Pugs. And so I kind of have that three-pronged attack to be able to come in and say, I see this from every angle. And it's really helping me grow. And I appreciate being here, and I respect all the other content creators like yourself as well. You know, we're the ones who people get most of their information from. So we better do a good job, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect response, man.
Straight from the heart, my friend, straight from the heart.
Yeah, exactly. That's all people are looking for. That's all people are looking for, man. That's all people need to be able to. They just want to be able to trust the founder of the project, whoever's behind the project. They just want to be able to take that person's word and, you know, have enough confidence in it to fully invest and be all in, you know, with the project. And next, I want to touch on how I want to kind of cover the transition into you getting into Space Pugs Alpha, because what I know is that from you being a genuine guy, I bet you being genuine, doing the things that you did with your YouTube channel is what opened those doors for you and your project. I know that. Now speak on it. I would like to hear how you being a genuine, kind, real person, and how that worked to your advantage transitioning into your project.
I'd be happy to speak on that. So, you know, when I resurrected the YouTube channel to be covering the Cnft space, I literally had no designs to do an NFT project. I think it's way beyond my capabilities. I'm not very tech savvy. People who know me, you're probably laughing right now, because you know I ask some dumb questions sometimes, but I have no technical skills whatsoever. So that was way far out of my mind. I was doing the YouTube and everything, and I literally was laying in bed one night, and I couldn't sleep like often. And I thought, you know, well, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can build contacts, because now, you know, people are hitting me up all the time for all kinds of stuff left and right. My DMs pop off all day. And I thought, yeah, I could do that. And then I kind of laughed at myself and said, yeah, no, probably not. You know, I have a good friend of mine who's been wanting to do an NFT project on a different platform. And I was kind of helping advise him as to what he might need to do that. And I was kind of laughing and joking with him, saying, yeah, go do it. You have the resources and the ability, the technical understanding to do that. But then everything started falling in my lap. You know, I partnered up with Boss Cat Kung. Everybody knows him. He's a mod on the BCRC channel. I started talking to him about a few things here and there. So I'm thinking about doing my own NFT project. I had a completely different direction to head. And then him and I started, you know, bouncing some ideas around. I recognized that he has the skills to do the things that I don't, like the Discord and running all these things. He learned a lot as being a mod. So, you know, we started collabing, we started talking. I said, hey, I got to make this dude my partner, man, because he can do all the things that I can't. And so one thing led to another. And, you know, we started really, you know, coming up with the idea. He is actually the one that came up with the idea of Space Pugs. We were going to call it Space Pug Club. I didn't like that. I wanted to call it Space Pug Alpha, because I had plans to do more NFT projects, you know, and of course the Alpha being able to be holding, you know, Genesis Pugs are going to be able to get you into whitelist for future projects. So we seem to work real well together to take our ideas and then make it a reality. Now, it was a lot of work getting from an idea to a reality, because the hardest part for me, I wasn't going to even talk about a project or even promote a project on Discord or anything else until I had some art. And so I went through a few different artists, this and that. Nothing ever seemed to work out for me. And then again, something fell in my lap. The Frog Factory gentleman fell in my lap, because we're friends through BCRC. It's kind of like that big community, you know. Ayo, to my boss cats, you know what I'm talking about. So as soon as we got that art team down and started getting some of the art on the Pugs, we were thinking, wow, now we can do something with this. And then so after that, it was a a source of, turning, adding some utility, and just, if I'm going to put something out, it better be 100%, or it's just not going to happen. And, the funny thing is, my background before all that was in the restaurant business. I used to own a breakfast place with my mom. And so, I have a lot of communication and people skills, but this is all on the internet now. So it's a whole new world for me to be doing that. But it seems to be able to, the way you communicate and speak with people, whether you're typing or whether you're actually getting on phone calls, you can take that same personality and do that. But the YouTube channel, of course, allows people to see my face, to hear my voice. Hopefully everyone has the same vision you do. They can see that, there's a genuine person here that really is passionate, number one, about the space, and number two, wants to do the best job he possibly can. So that really did give me the avenue. Without the YouTube channel, I definitely would not be doing an NFT project whatsoever. But the two kind of go hand in hand, and we're excited because we have a huge future plan. The community of the Space Pugs has jumped behind us so well. They believe in us as much as we need them. So it all just kind of worked out, symbiotically, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's a great story, man. That's a great story.
Yeah. Long way coming.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of figured it was a story of, man, I was just doing YouTube, then all of a sudden I'm just making projects. You know what I mean? That's just how it happens, because you're starting to, and it's so funny. It's so funny because the guys that start out wanting to make a CNFT project, they kind of like want to be in our position of YouTubers, and then the YouTubers kind of want to be in their position a little bit. So that's what's kind of funny about it, because the guy that just wants to create the NFT project has the problem of, well, I have to build a community first. You know what I mean? And that's no easy feat. You know what I mean? And right. Yeah, so it goes hand in hand, and that's what I was saying before. When we were off camera, when I was saying that the YouTubers are supposed to be the ones covering these projects, covering the projects they like to bring more awareness, in turn, that helps build the community for these projects. You know what I mean? So that the guys creating the good projects don't have to go out here and create YouTube channels. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. We need each other is what it comes down to.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's people that are both, one example, the Cardano Crocs Club. I mean, our boy out there, Sean Benson, he's got a great YouTube channel. I'm a big fan of his. He's over 200. I was there since under 10K subs, and I watched him grow because he was a Cardano guy. So as I was doing YouTube, I was listening to some of his videos. He's really, really knowledgeable. But, he came out there, he did the Cardano Crocs, and they've been hugely successful. And it's kind of cool because, like, you take a project like that, you look at it, they've got their own in-house YouTuber, integrating into their project and all
exactly.
Things. So I thought, hey, you know what? That's why the idea kind of penetrated my mind. I thought, well, I have an opportunity to do that too. No, I'm nowhere near 200K subs, hopefully someday. But the point is if you can put good content out there, and you can have the time, the energy. I'm telling you, man, I put in 12-hour days, basically 6 days a week, and I'm up late at night, even after my wife goes to bed. I got to get up and I work till 2 a.m. because to do both, it's full time. People say, well, what do you do for a living? I'm like, this is what I do for a living. I don't have time for a full-time job. If I had a job, I couldn't do any of this. So, the two crossing over have been a perfect marriage. And I think it's going to be extremely successful. Community behind the Pugs. Again, shout out to all you guys. We appreciate you so much. We're over 7K Discord now, and people are, they're salivating for the mint date, and we're excited about it, man.
Yeah. Same here, man. Same here. Like I said, I got excited. Once like I said, my history of already watching you on YouTube and liking your videos, and the fact that you're genuine, it was a no-brainer for me. Once you said you had a project coming out, I was like, oh, I'm down. I don't even care what the art looks like. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and I think
you have the trust factor. I totally get that. Yeah, that's trust is huge right now, especially with all the stuff that's going on. Everyone making these projects. You got rug pulls and you got money grabs. They're two different things, but neither one of them are good for the space or the people. So, if you have that trust, I get you, man. That's like I'm instantly on board. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because that actually means a lot to me, because I knew that that's what it was going to take to get that across the way I wanted it to come across. Perfection.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, and that's what I'm definitely starting to see, especially with me doing interviews now. This is probably like my third interview now, but as I do these interviews, I'm realizing that it's the art actually takes a back seat behind the art, the utility, everything takes a back seat behind the founder. So it's kind of everything is a representation of what they stand for. You know what I mean? So if I talk to a founder and he's a jerk and, you know, he doesn't care about people in general, well, that's what his project is gonna resemble. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm realizing, that, well, maybe the art and the utilities are not as important as I thought they were. Because once you talk to real people that actually care about their project, it kind of none of that even matters. Like, none of that matters anymore. It's like, okay, I know you're gonna do right by me because you're a good person. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not gonna. And I know you have those situations where people have to bail out or whatever, but you know, once you do an interview with someone, or once you see someone and talk and really tell you their actual thoughts, then you can go from there and be like, okay, well, I really trust this guy as a founder. I'm invested in his project. Because you're essentially investing in the founders, you know?
Agree.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off that real quick. You know, I'm glad to hear you say that. And again, that has a lot to do with being a YouTuber and a project maker as well. You know, you get to hear the voice, you get to see the person's face, and you sound to me like you're like me, man. You're a good read on people. I can read people pretty well for the most part. You know what I mean? And yeah, if your project founder, like you said, if he's a jerk or if he doesn't care, if he does a subpar job, that's going to show up at some point down the road in there. And I also will say this, you know, I've been in a lot of Discords where I'm like, man, if my Discord acted like this, I would go out there and I would clean house, because I won't allow this kind of talk to be happening, because that is a representation of me. So if someone's coming in there and they got a big mouth and they're just being a jerk and they're treating people on the Discord, especially newer members or whatever it may be, difference of opinion, you know, if you got too much to say, you got to keep it clean on that, you know, and that is a reflection on the founders. So thankfully, you know, I've never had to police my Discord whatsoever. The family, the Pug family, they're such a great mirror image of myself and Kung as well. You know, they're all happy, man. They're all cool. They have made friends with each other. People have made contacts. You know, now so many people have so many things to share together because of the Pug family. And that does mean a lot to me, because that almost is a utility within itself. You feel me?
Exactly.
You know, if the community is not what it is, you can only do so much. Sure, you might have a successful project, make a lot of money, but man, I can't tell you how many stories people have done, members of my community, that are just helping, you know, our project. And there's no incentive for them. You know, some of the guys that have joined, they've been giving me thumbnails. So many people have done so many things that they're not even incentivized for. And that to me says that it is a real community. You know, the connections I've made lifelong connections because of this project. And I know other people have as well. So, you know, that is amazing. And again, I've never had to go in there and clean house. So far, so good, man. Pugs are cracking.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely popping, because I've been in the Discord, and every time I came in there, it was positive. Everything I seen was positive. Yep. Haven't seen any hate or any, you know, out of turn, out of context rants or anything like that. So
I agree.
So yeah, so everything's positive. All right, so now let's jump into the project, Space Pugs Alpha. Let's go. And right now, I'm on the website. I know you probably can't see it right now. I'm on the website and I'm looking at the countdown. You know, we watching these numbers count down. We are currently at 15 days, 6 hours and 17 minutes.
Nice, bro.
Yeah. So, okay. So now I'm just going to ask you about some of the semantics for the project. So I see your total supply is 7,777. What made you guys go with that specific number?
Well, I can start by saying I wasn't going to go with 6666 at all. So,
I know that's like a popular thing to do.
Yeah, it is, and I don't get it, but you know, that's another topic for another day. But you know, right? we tossed around a lot of ideas as to what we want to do. Neither one of us wanted to do a 10K print run. I just didn't want to do that. That's saturation. You know, we were originally going to just do the 5K, or we're going to do 550, 5555, because I wanted to have some pugs to give away. And I wanted to have some pugs left over to do a bunch of marketing. Well, we decided that was very important. So we actually stepped that up. We're still doing the 5K mint, but we're giving that massive, 2,500 pug airdrop. That's our way of rewarding the people who are there early and minted the project, and whether it's whitelist or public. And then we had the 277 left over. We wanted to step up that that cache that we have to go ahead and do a lot of that in-house marketing. We've learned a lot from watching the projects do it successfully. We're keeping it smooth in here. A lot of people understand that reference without coming straight out with it. But, you know, so it's a good balance. You know, we've got the mint, we're basically giving away roughly a third of the entire supply. And, you know, some people question that, but I'm like, hey, this is my way to reward the people who have put so much time and effort and trust into this project. So we really like that system. And that's how we ended up with 7,777.
Okay. Okay. That's perfect. That's perfect. That is perfect. So we got a mint date of the 23rd and the 24th of April. 23rd, I'm guessing that's the white list.
Yep.
Okay. So we got the white list, and then we got the public. And the price, you got 40 ADA for the white list and 50 ADA for public, right? All right. So that's it for the mint date. So it's going down on April 23rd for the white list and April 24th for the public sale. Can
I interject real quick, a little bit of information on that? I've said this on my videos and stuff, but it's always good for people to know as much as they can. So the whitelist is the 23rd. That's a full 24 hours to be able to mint your whitelist allotment. Then we're going to have a 3-hour break. So my mint specialist, Tiger Pool, shout out to him. The guy's amazing. So he can switch over to the public. Now, of course, the whitelisters have the opportunity to mint out the entire project. We think the majority is going to be done in whitelist. So we won't know the public number until all the whitelists have been done, which is why we're taking a 3-hour break so that we can make that announcement, say, hey, there's this many, X many pugs left over, whether it's, 554, or whether it's, 1,200 or whatever it's going to be. Because we want people to understand the opportunity to mint the public, because again, we're catering to the whitelisters here. We will shout out that number as soon as possible. And we're going to try and get it to where, we want dispersity amongst our projects. So we want to give as many people the opportunity. Based on the number that's left over for the public, we'll decide how many each wallet transaction per mint.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. That's great. That sounds like it's going to be a smooth mint to me.
Yeah, Tiger Pool's amazing, man. We spared no expense. The guy does a great job.
And Tiger Pool work with Block Owls, right? Is that Block Owls? That's
his project. He's done a lot of mints for a lot of other projects. He also did the mint for Frog Factory. I made that connection with our artists, and we already had Tiger Pool on deck. Okay. So, I made that connection for them, and those guys absolutely sing his praises because, you do get what you pay for. If you want to go with the cheap mint and you want your project to come out of the gate slow, go ahead and cut that corner. But that's not a corner that I think is worth cutting. See, we really are designing this project for people. We want to reward the people who are into the pugs. And so, we're gonna pay what it takes to do a good mint. We want to come out of the gate hot, man. How many times have people taken part of a mint and it was a total disaster? And it's just not a good way to start, man. So we're not sparing that expense. Tiger Pool's amazing. Look into him as well. He's a team member, official team member on the website. So you can check out what he's going to be doing. And all the team members we have, we're going to be sticking together for the next project so that we can do just as good of a job as we did with the pugs.
Amazing. I like that. You give me hype right now. I'm getting kind of hype. I'm getting hype. All right.
Sometimes I put FOMO into my own project, man.
I know, right? It's hey man, those YouTube skills come in handy, man, because you can shill without shilling. Like, you don't even have to shill. You just, when you talk, you're just selling all the time. Like,
Right. And again, it comes from the heart, man. It's like, I'm not even selling it. I'm just talking about, I feel like my passion's just coming right out my mouth, man. But I will say this, and I'll be 100% transparent with this, 100% honesty. Even as a YouTube content creator, if Pugs was somebody else's project, I'd be like, yo, I would be doing videos on the space Pugs, because I would do enough research to know that, hey, there's something special going on here. And I would cover that, up until and even beyond mint date. Most of the videos I do for projects are things that I stick with, because I like to give people updates. I like to talk more about the successes or the failures of what may have come out of a project. So from an outside looking in, I'd be hyped on Pugs no matter what, man. It just happens to be my project.
I mean, think about it. I'm doing a video on you now. I mean, I'm like the mirror image of you. Like, you know what I mean? You were here before me. So look at me. I'm doing a video on you now. It's like you doing a video on you. You see what I mean?
Like I've arrived in some way, bro. Like I'm here,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So next, let's talk about this roadmap, man. That's one thing that blew me out the water. Like, so when I jumped in on the project, I was like, okay, The project's great. I know the founders are good. Okay, I'm good. I'm aping in, right? So I didn't have any expectation as far as roadmaps or utilities. I was like, okay, I know he's gonna do his thing regardless, right? But when I come on the website and I see this robust roadmap, I'm like, what? This is amazing. Like, who wouldn't want to invest in this? So let's talk about the roadmap, and let's talk about how you guys arrived at some of the decisions that you guys decided to make concerning the roadmap.
All right. Yeah. So, we, of course, didn't have the website until, about a week ago. And I knew that was crucial. And I really wanted to work on that. I wanted to do a good job. I tried doing it myself. Again, technically limited. So I scratched that. Reached out to a good friend of mine that I've known forever. I used to be in a band with him. He's a web developer. So he made a great website for us. And, we had the basic skeleton of the roadmap on the Discord. And that was a long time ago. So since then, myself and Kung, my co-partner here, we've come up with a lot of stuff that we want to do with the roadmap, not just for this year, but beyond in the next year. So I got onto the website and I updated the roadmap there first. And then I went and put it all on the Discord there because all of those things that had developed over the 3 or 4 week span, I seem to be coming up with ideas when I'm laying down and I can't sleep. My mind decides to be active at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. And so all of these things start coming to me. And so I get up and I write stuff down and I thought, this we could do, this we can't do. I've told people before and I'll always tell this in any chance I get, I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver on my project. I want to underpromise and overdeliver. So, coming out with all this heavy, stuff we're going to do our metaverse and all this stuff, it's not feasible for us, at least maybe not right now. So, someday, maybe if that comes, opportunity comes, we'll talk about that. But for now, I wanted to have an actual, genuine, reachable roadmap. There's nothing on that roadmap that I don't want to check off those boxes as we go. I want it all to be hit. And I said on my last video that I made, I got some pocket aces, some pocket kings I'm keeping close to my hand because I don't want to talk about everything because there's other stuff that is going to be coming along the way, stuff that's actually going to happen. Some of them, we're working on, but some of them we're like, yeah, I can't wait to talk, to drop this information. I can't wait to excite the community because beyond mint date, you got to be able to keep pushing forward. Mint date is just the beginning, of the project actually arriving. And so I have a Pugs first policy. We want to continue to, make the Pugs the best we possibly can. So that roadmap is 100% genuine. We are going to hit all those boxes and all kinds of stuff in between. That's very exciting. And of course, you guys know I'm a big fan of BCRC. I've got my estates. I got a couple of estates. We're going to be building on those as they allow us to do those kind of things. And I'm excited about that roadmap, man. But all that was a culmination of several weeks had gone by to jump in there and update that roadmap because it's got to be reachable.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, the roadmap is perfect. I like the roadmap. Like you said, is just enough and it's not too much. And that way you don't discourage anyone or have anyone get cold feet when it comes to the project or because people like a roller coaster. People like roller coasters. They want to be taken on a ride.
I like it.
You know what I mean? Like they don't want to be handed everything, and it's like then they're sitting there with it and they're like, well, what do I do now? Well, you know what? I don't really want this anymore. It was too easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I like to surprise people. If you ask my wife, you ask my son, I love to surprise the people I love. It's just one of those things that's in my nature as it is. So I got a lot of surprises coming. I can tell you that it's gonna be fun dropping some bombs up in there in the Discord and the Twitter and watching everyone's head explode. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it is. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. So one of the last things I actually want to talk about, since we went over the roadmap, went over the mint date, and I'll go back over that again right before we end. Another thing I want to talk about, right, is I want to talk about the BCRC formula. I want to talk about that in general. Because I actually watched a video of yours. You were one of the first people to actually cover Smooth Yeti Mountain Club. So shout out to Smooth Yeti Mountain Club. I heard what was that?
Big fan.
Yeah, exactly. Me now too, even though I missed that train, but
You
I
didn't miss
did.
the train, bro. You didn't miss the train. We got some snowmobiles coming up, so we're good, man.
Yeah, I know, man. So the Smooth Yeti Mountain Club, right? So I did when I seen them, I didn't do my let's just say I didn't do my own research. I didn't do my own research, right? And by the time they started mooning, they had started mooning or they had a big jump. You were covering them. And when I seen your video, I was like, hold on. I knew it was something up with Smooth Yeti Mountain Club. You know what I mean? It's like I had this feeling, but I didn't have at that time, I didn't have a YouTube channel. Like I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't covering CNFTs. So now I can jump on everything since I'm on YouTube, like covering everything, like how I found your project. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm on it. But back then it was right before I started to take off on my YouTube channel and videos and stuff. So when you covered them, I was like, oh man, I knew it was something with them. And then I go look at the price and the price jumps up to like 250. I'm like, oh man, like I should have watched this video earlier. Like I knew so. But I'm saying that to say there's something with this BCRC formula. And I'm not giving all the credit to BCRC. But what I will say is BCRC has come in and they came with this business regimen. What I call it is great business practices. That's what I like to call it. Because I am a businessman first as well, right? And I notice a good business practices when I see it, right? And what I see these guys are doing, these guys have come into the CNFT community and they're thinking 10 steps ahead rather than just like you said, just thinking about mint, thinking about getting through mint, you know, and these guys have planned 10 to 20 steps ahead of themselves. Instead of them thinking about mint, they're thinking about mint. Then they're thinking about airdrops. Then they're thinking about metaverse, and they're thinking about all of this stuff, and they're not necessarily announcing everything. They didn't start announcing stuff until after the mint was over. You know what I mean? And so, and then not only that, one thing I think gets a bad rep is the floor sweeping mechanic that they actually use for sweeping their floors. I feel like they get a bad rep for that, but I don't think I honestly don't think it's a bad thing because you're actually protecting your holders. You're protecting your community. Like, how is that a bad thing to protect your own community from, you know, just from their actual investments, you know what I mean? From their investments for the floor to cave in and drop. That to me, that's an incentive for the holders. But I agree. So what's your opinion about it, and what have you heard about it, or how do you feel about it? Like I that's what I wanted to ask you, to see what you felt about that.
Yeah, I'd be happy to talk about that. So I got into BCRC just after, I think when I was looking at the cats were like 800 or 900 ADA. Mm-hmm. And that's when I arrived on the scene. And so, I just jumped right in and I made myself a rocket, did all this stuff. And I thought, gosh, if I was here 3 weeks earlier, man, I literally would, the way I do things, I ape in, man. Mm-hmm. I would have been a millionaire. I would have had $1 million ADA by now. No, I'm serious. Dude, I'm totally serious. But so I'm unaware that they do any floor sweeping. I know that they came out early and they said, hey, because their mint price was 20 ADA. I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
A mechanism to where if it dropped below mint price, they were going to come in and buy them. Well, that never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they've implied that at all. I've never heard anything like that. So I'm not sure if they're actually buying their own product. I'm pretty sure that's actually not happening. But now, to answer your question, I think that's amazing because you're protecting your investors, which is exactly why I came up with the Pugs Floor Fund. I wanted to protect the measures. I decided I want to do it one step better. I don't just want to say, hey, if we go under, the whitelist mint price 40 ADA, which means anything under that, and people are losing money, I'll come in and I'll buy them up. I thought, no, I can do better than that. I want to do something no one's done yet. I want to be able to take these royalties. I got 50% of the royalties on the Pugs for life going into that fund. And that's strictly to buy pugs off the floor. I'm going to come in there and I'm going to be, you know, raising it to new levels depending on what I've got in that war chest there to apply, so that, you know, other people who are coming in later, they're not going to hopefully lose money on that project as well. We're giving a good head start on that because, again, I want to have the funds to be able to actually back that up. So when I come in and I raise that floor price, I want to be able to have, you know, several thousand ADA at my disposal to come in. And if anything drops below, I'm going to swoop that up, because number one, I don't want anybody to lose money on my project. Number two, I'm going to be adding those to my war chest of my 277 initial pugs from Mint, because like we talk about Smooth Yetis, look at what they're doing for that community. Now, I remember Keeper telling me before they minted, a couple people made, you know, projects, because this is the upcoming mint type stuff. But I was the first one to make a full actual dedicated YouTube video on them after their mint. Their floor price was $47.58 or something like that. And I kept telling people, I said, I got a feeling about this project. Look into it. That was the video you were referencing earlier. You know, check it out. And so, you know, they blew up pretty shortly after that. It probably had nothing to do with my YouTube channel. It was a perfect storm of all these things happening, but they started getting creative. They started coming in and they started giving away some sick Yetis for people. They had all these creative contests, man. You know, I've learned so much from watching the Yetis. And so, you know, of course I want to take what works and I want to apply it to my project. So I'm applying those methods as well. But back to the whole floor price thing, I was, again, laying in bed. I couldn't sleep. And I had this idea. I thought, well, why not come out and be like, hey, forget about the initial floor. We'll get there, but we're going to come in 4 weeks after mint, after we do that pug airdrop, and I'm going to set a new floor, because some people might sell some of those pugs because they'll probably make some money off it. You know, first of all, they're free airdrops, so great. You know, let the community make some money. You know, that's a good thing for a community. But if they come below the floor price, I'm going to come and I'm going to buy those all up, because I'm going to add them to the war chest to be given away for contests later, to incentivize people. Yeah, to delist their pugs so that we can do Yeti style things. If you look at Yetis, there's only like a couple hundred at a time that are even able to be for purchase, because they keep flooding. They keep selling. If you want to win this, when part of this contest, great. You can do this, that, and that, but you got to delist your pugs or it doesn't count. So I'm applying that, man, and I'm using that floor fund for life as that. And if pugs start cracking, we get the 1 million ADA sale, I'm going to have a lot of money to use to protect the investors. So I'm a huge fan. To answer your question, big fan of that.
Man. You just dropped some game. You really just dropped some game. You just dropped a real huge gem. Man, you just dropped a huge gem. And that's exactly, and thank you for correcting me. That's what I was talking about right there. Exactly what you're talking about. I called it a floor sweep mechanic because I don't know much about it. I just know that, you know, you guys set your floors when you feel the need to, but it's part of your strategy. You know what I mean? And that's thinking like a businessman. That's being a businessman. You know what I mean? And I applaud you for that. That is amazing. That's amazing, man.
Thank you. As far as I know, that's the only one to do it. I'm sure people, if it's successful, will come out and maybe want to copy that. And that's great, because if that adds something to the space as a whole that protects investors, that's great. We're trying to grow this space together. I mean, WAGME is a real thing, like really, you know, this tribalism between, you know, projects and all this jealousy and all stuff, then throw it out the window, guys. If you're watching this video, get rid of that. Leave that to the Ethereum space. We don't need that here. Let's do this together. We have an opportunity to do something special. And if somebody comes in and copies what I do, that's great. That's the highest form of flattery, if you ask my opinion. So, you know, back to what you're saying about BCRC, they run their project like a business, because it is a business, and they have multiple faceted ways of actually showing that. And if you've noticed, they've hit everything they said they were going to hit and more. Like you said, they don't even talk about stuff till afterwards. They're showing, number one, and they get a lot of hate for this, and I don't know why, but they reward the people who are diamond handing their project. And I like that. You don't have to have a project like that. Not every project needs to be that way, but if you can do that, you actually show that you care about the people who are in from the beginning. And I'm a big fan of that, because I've got a lot of success because of what BCRC has done and how they've run their project, because I am a diamond hand holder. I've got over 300, maybe even 400 NFTs. I've sold less than 10 in my journey, because, you know, I see the future about all this, and, you know, running it like a business is a good thing. Protecting your investors, that's a good thing. You don't find that in the stock market. You don't find that in a lot of places. So if we can do that, we're going to do it, man. And I hope other people do it too. I really do.
Exactly, man. That's a great word, man. That's definitely a great word. It's amazing. I think what you guys are doing is great with Space Pugs Alpha. The roadmap is good. Shout out to the team. Shout out to of course you know what I mean, Mr. Ultimate himself, Mike. Shout out to him. Shout out to Kong, the co-founder. The Ultimate Warrior. you got the action figure.
Oh yeah, the cream always rises to the top. Yeah.
Man, I used to be a big wrestling fan, man.
Oh, me too. I'm an old school 80s, 90s junkie, bro. I love that stuff.
Yeah, Macho Man. I used to all of them, man. Like it's crazy. But shout out to Kong. He's the co-founder. Shout out to Waylon. He's an artist. Shout out to Ob or OB. He's an artist. Shout out to Wayman. That's another artist. And shout out to Tiger Pool, the mint specialist. So, you know, that's the team. That's who's on the team.
An all-star team, my man. It's an all-star team.
Yeah, I see. And with all of that being said, we can go over the mint date one more time. Space Pugs Alpha will be minting on the 23rd of April for the whitelist. And on the 24th of April will be the public sale. And like he said, it's a 24-hour mint, and they're gonna take a 3-hour break to make sure they do their count for the public sale. And for the whitelist, it'll be 40 ADA, and for the public sale, it'll be 50 ADA, and it's a supply of 7,777. And that is it. You know what I mean? Do you have any shout outs? You got any shout outs or anybody you want to say hi to, or the team?
Man, I mean, I could be here all day if I shout out everybody who deserves to be heard from, but obviously my team, shout out again to YouTube content creators like yourself, JL. I appreciate it. By the way, I hope I'm allowed to talk about this, but we're giving JL 3 whitelist spots for the Pugs to give away, on this video. I don't know, however he wants to give away is going to be up to him, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, but we've given him 3 spots. You guys know those are hard to get now. So those are like the little golden tickets, but we appreciate the coverage, man. And I just want to give a shout out to basically the entire community, because they're awesome. The support has been amazing. My partner as well, but also, special shout out to Adam Jukes, bro. I love you, man. That's one of those things I was telling you about, where it's like a lifelong relationship has formed now. He's our top admin. Everybody knows who he is. The guy's great. He's active all the time. All these people, they're not getting paid to do this. They're doing it because they love the project, because they believe in myself. So thank you to all those guys. DLB, dude, you're awesome. Center, thank you for all the YouTube banners you've been doing for me and all the stuff you've been helping me with. And, all my other mods too. I'm sorry if I forgot some of you guys right now, but I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. There's somebody in particular I want to get to, but I feel like I'm under pressure now to do all that. So
no, you're good. You're good.
I'll give them a personal shout out. You know what I mean? As soon as we can. But everyone's really great, man. So we appreciate all of them.
All right. With that being said, this is your boy Awesomeisjayell, aka the biggest music artist in the metaverse, and we are signing off.
Peace.
You ain't seen the news, you ain't seen my shoes, you ain't see the views. Look, I get the views.